So when my father was a little concerned because we were having more children, I said, I have a minivan. I have a washer and a dryer and a dishwasher. My husband helps me all the time as much as he can. Like, I have it made in the shade. So I don't think we had too many conversations about that. But anyway, she prayed very much for my father and passed away before she even knew that he had given his life to Christ. But I knew all of my uncles and aunts, and some of them were real rascals like my dad, but they all came to Christ. And so I say that because of the power of us praying for our children, praying for our children, praying for our grandchildren, and not giving up, not becoming discouraged, but really saying, I'm planting seeds. I'm doing whatever God puts on my heart to do for them. We as grandparents, we have money, we have time, we have, what all do we have? We have health, we're in our right minds so far. We have so much to give. Let's not pack it all up in a Winnebago and go to Florida for months and months. And we took our first holiday about 15 years ago. Somebody gave us a condo on the ocean. I stood out on this balcony and I just cried. I'm going, God, this is awesome. But after 2 weeks, I was like, and we were in a building with all these senior people. Now, we arrived with about 5 kids, so it was probably a stretch for them. But anyway, we'd had a wonderful time. But I noticed that and we weren't seniors yet, we noticed that these people went from bingo to, what were the activities? Every day there was an activity. Whatever, shuffleboard, yeah. And I looked at Leonard, I said, Leonard, that can never be our life. I have to get home. I have to get back to my normal life of whatever God is putting on our hearts right now. And I want to say to us who are grandparents, let's, until our dying breath, invest in the lives that God has given us to invest in, and do everything that we can with the resources. There are no U-Hauls behind our coffins, for goodness sakes. We can't take it with us. So let's invest it in the people that are in our lives. So I have more to say, but I think we have 3 more people coming.
So today I want to tell you, I was thinking about this morning, thought it was a great thing to say, but I was going to tell Carie when we had our little thing, but she thought that maybe somebody might misunderstand what I was saying. I was going to tell her, oh, I'm so happy that today I get to tell everybody why you're supposed to submit to me and everything. And she was going to say to me, yeah, and I'm also going to tell them why you're going to do the dishes tonight, do the laundry, you're going to make the beds, you're going to make the dinner, and you're going to put Esmeralda to bed, Leonard. But I am going to tell you why I believe that God placed the specific command. It starts out, that command in Ephesians, with submit yourselves one to another. That's the general theme. But then God says to women, it says, you're to submit yourselves to your husbands in everything, and so forth. Goes on like that. And then they're to love you like Christ loved the church. So I'm just going to teach you a little bit today of what I've come to understand about that, because it is a hot topic. It's a hot topic within Christianity. It's a hot topic in our society. It's a hot topic all over the place. And I want to tell you that I believe that God's word is actually very, very clear and very specific, and there's a reason for it. So here's the thing. Why does God tell women specifically in their submission one to another to submit to their husbands? And you remember I said that submission does not has been filled with the concept of obedience, but that's not what it means. It means to place under the hand, to come under the care of each other. So why is it that God says specifically to women to submit? Is there a difference between women and men that causes that? And I want to say yes. Remember what I said about the created order. So one day I was debating with a feminist at UWO, ultra-feminist, and she said to me, and it was just ridiculous. She said to me, the only difference between a man and a woman is the ability to bear children. And I looked at her and I said, oh, that's not much of a difference, is it? Like, really? That's no difference at all, right, Judy? I mean, like Tony can't have babies, you can. That's no difference, right? You guys don't get it. It is absolutely, completely huge. It's everything in the whole universe changes by the fact that a woman can have a baby and a man can't. If I was going to get really mad at God, I'd probably get mad at that. I know, I watched it happen. I'm thinking, no, I don't think I would have gotten mad at that. I think I'm really, if men had to have babies, I don't think there was a single kid would be born. I'm looking and saying, how does that happen? We watch Call the Midwife every now and then. Every time it happens, my hands start sweating. I start thinking, oh, God, how do women go through this? I don't even know how that happens. I have a struggle when I'm constipated. I do. But every time I am, I think of what your wife went through. Man, this whole thing of the weaker vessel, I'm thinking, ain't no weakness there, baby. That's got to be the strongest person in the whole universe to go through that. And anyway, here's why. There are two kinds of authority in life. And this is critical. And if you look at history and you look at creation, you'll understand this. Two kinds of authority in life. One is natural authority and one is given authority. Do you follow what I'm saying? One comes as a result of a relationship that you have with somebody, and it gives you authority in their lives, right? Tony and I are building a real good relationship around the men's group, and we're talking together and so forth. Tony's the leader. He's leading. He's doing his great thing. But Tony's got that given authority. But you know what? We're building a relationship, and we're starting to have relationship with each other in a way that it's no longer just a given relationship, given authority. We're starting to have an authority between us, a natural authority, right? And that comes by relationship. Comes by serving each other, comes by sharing life together. That natural relationship comes, right? And it's really, really crucial that we understand that concept. John Maxwell, who's a big leadership guru, says that he calls that authority, and I agree with him, he calls that authority influence. Influence. So when someone tells you something to do and they're in a position of authority and you have to do it, like say a police officer or whoever, that position of authority, when they tell you to do that, you have to do that no matter what. But there are people that can ask you to do something and you would do just about anything for them. And you would stop doing things that you might want to do just for them. Why? Because they have a relationship of influence in your life. They've invested in your life. They have planted in your life. And it's not about whether or not they have the authority and given. Do you get this? I want you to really understand. It's really critical. You get this. It's not that they have the given authority to tell you to do that. It's because they have loved you, they have cared for you, they've invested into your life, they have honored you, they have been a part of your life, they've mentored you, whatever you want to say. And you do that you want to do for them because of that natural authority. That natural authority. So let's think about this for a second. Who has the most natural authority in a family? Who has it? They listened to her voice from the moment they were conceived. Inside of her body, they imprinted on her voice, on her emotions, on her personality. You know, like if you hang around with each other, you pick up on each other's personality, right? Like you pick up on when they're happy, they're mad, or what so forth. I mean, you know that, right? You guys understand that when she has that certain look, you're dead. You're dead. I mean, you're just dead meat. You might as well just give up and not even say, okay, what did I do wrong and what can I do to make it right? Anything, please. But inside of the mother's womb, they're already imprinting on who she is. And they're already building their identity inside of the mother's womb on who they are, because in relationship to her, they are becoming who they will be someday when they come out of the womb. Okay, so there's that beginning authority. The whole universe is her. Like, think about that. A child's universe from the time that they're conceived until they're 9 months old and they come out of the womb, it's her. Right, Irene? Like your babies, they were right there, and that was the whole universe. Maybe Dad got to yell at them, and perhaps they heard, and whatever, but, I don't mean yell at them as being angry. I mean, hey, how you doing in there? I'd pray over Carie every night, and I'd put my hands on the kid's head and wherever that was and try to figure it out, but I'd feel like, yeah, that's not the head. But, like they knew me a little bit maybe, but nothing like Mama. And they come, and remember, we're living in a time where you can do the bottle thing and all of this sort of stuff, and kids don't have to have it. But remember, if a child was going to live and they came out of the mother, she had to, yeah, I know, dear, thanks. She's telling me, hurry up, stupid. Or, sorry. Keep it short, stupid, yeah. So when they came out, they had to nurse. And in most societies where that's not optional, that goes on for sometimes up to 3 to 5 years that they nurse with their mothers. Well, what do you think that does with a child? Who are they on all the time and hanging around with and being a part of? And every aspect of their lives was captured by this mom, right? Like, is that not true? Like, come on, give me some feedback here. Is that right? Is it right? Okay. Who's got the authority here? Who's got the authority? Like, if a mother does not allow for her husband to be brought into that circle, if she doesn't intentionally bring him into that circle, he doesn't have a hope. He doesn't have a hope. A father can only really be the father that God intended him to if a woman will let him come in and have influence in the children's life. Only if she places herself in his care and submits to him will he ever have a hope of doing anything with those kids. Why do you think that almost 98% of all single parent families are led by women? Because women just do this thing of building a relationship with their kids, and you can't break that relationship. People say, well, the husband and wife supposed to be the central figure in the family, and the kids are supposed to be secondary. That is just a big lie. There is no mom in this place that would do for you as her husband what she will do for her kids. This just doesn't happen. She can get rid of you. She can put up with you. She can say, but she will never do that if she's a decent woman at all. She'll never give up on her kids. Women are living in poverty now, and they go to work and they do everything they can without a parent or another helping hand, and they do it all. I know, I lived with one. And she was going to be there for us. My dad took off, and who knows what he was doing, but she was going to be for us no matter what, because that's what God does inside of a woman's heart. And when if you don't let the man in, if you don't let him come in, then he can't possibly ever do anything with his kids. I know, I'm sorry, I'm bad.
And that's why it's so important that as women, that we respect and love our husbands. That is the most important gift that we can give our children, is that we truly honor and respect and love and lift them up before our children and speak well of them and never criticize to the children our husbands. Like if we have something to say, if I have something to say to Leonard,
She usually
or
does.
if he has something to say to me, we do it behind a closed door and we discuss it, and then we tell the kids what we've come up with. And I believe that it is the woman's responsibility to really honor our husbands. Because we do have that already, we have that natural bond with our child. And so we need to bring the men in, give them a place of honor in the family because they deserve it.
So if you can understand what we've just said, the actual fact is that saying to a woman, submit to your husband, put him under your care, is not about you being in a subordinate role. You're not subordinate. Mm-hmm. You're actually just equalizing the playing field so that the husband can have some impact in the children's lives, because you got all the natural authority that there is in the universe because of your relationship with your child. So we're going to end on that one with a question period. So let's discuss any of the things that we talked about in this period right now. Just discuss them among yourselves for a bit.